आज ही डाउटनट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Hello everyone. So the question is, the figure below ABCD is a rectangle and EFGH is a square and CD is the diameter of a semicircle. The point K is the midpoint of CD and point J is the midpoint of both AB and EF and point E lie on AB and also the given lengths are in meters. Okay. So basically ABCD is a square, EFGH is a ABCD is a rectangle, EFGH is a square and the length of AB and BC are given and GH is also given and J is the midpoint of AB and EF. Okay. So the question is here is, if the figure will be placed in a standard xy coordinate plane so that K is at the origin, and it means this point K is at the origin, okay, then AB is parallel to the x-axis and 1 meter is equal to 1 coordinate units, okay. So which of the following values could be the y coordinate of H? So we need to find the y coordinate of H. Now in the question it is saying that AB is parallel to the x-axis and D and K is at the origin. So basically this axis, the axis will be somewhat like this. This is the y-axis and this is the x-axis here, and this is the origin O. Okay, so this is somewhat the y-axis. If you imagine this is the x-axis. This will somewhat look like this. This is the y-axis. So we need to find the coordinate of this point H here. Now if you drop a perpendicular on here the x-axis, because this is also the x-axis here, this is the, if this K is the origin, if I extend it to the left side, then this is the negative x-axis and this is the positive x-axis, and this is obviously the positive y, and the down again it will be negative y-axis. But here the point is lies there, so we will be concentrating on this part. So if we drop a perpendicular, what will be the x part of x coordinate of this point, the distance between this point and this point? Because in coordinate plane, how we calculate the coordinates of any point? By simply, if this is the coordinate plane, then how will you calculate the coordinate of this point? We just drop a perpendicular on the x-axis and y-axis and then calculate the distance of this point from the origin. This will be the, if this is h, then this is the coordinate of the x point will be h, and this is y, if this is k, then the coordinate of the y coordinate will be k. Okay, so similarly, we will find out the distance of this point from k. Okay, so if the distance of this point h and the distance between these 2 points would be equal to the distance between h and this middle point, because k divides equally, because k is the midpoint of CD and this is ABCD is a rectangle, so it's k will also be the midpoint of AB. So k will also divide this AB part, or rather this HG part, into 2 equal halves, because J is also the midpoint, and K and J both are midpoints of CD and AB, and J is also the midpoint of AB. So applying these two conditions, K is in the midpoint of CD, so K must be the midpoint of AB, and also J is the midpoint of AB, and as well as EF. So K will also divide HG into 2 equal halves. So if this whole length is 3.6, then this will be equal to 3.6 divided by 2, that is 1.8. So the value of this length will be 1.8. If this is 1.8, then this will also be equal to 1.8. Okay, so I got the x coordinate. Okay, now for calculating the y coordinate, then we need to calculate the vertical length. We need to calculate this length, that is the length between this point and this point. So for this point, I know this whole length, that is 12. I know this much length, that is 3.6, because EFGH is a square, that is 3.6. So I will just subtract this for calculating this length. I will just subtract this length from this small length, and that will give my this length. Or rather, if I write it here, if you imagine this as, let us say this is x, and this is g, and this is, let us say, f. Okay, so xg will be equal to how much? Xf minus fg. Obviously from the diagram it's clear. So xg will be equal to 12 minus 3.6, that is 8 point how much? 4. So 8.4 units will be the y coordinate. So if you check the options, option C will be your correct answer. Here, neglect the x part. We will be focusing on the y part. So basically we need to find the distance, the distance between this point and this point. Okay, that's how we'll calculate the coordinate of y. So subtracting from 3.6 from 12 will give you the coordinates of y-axis. It will give you the coordinates of its y part. So 12 minus 3.6, that is 8.4. So option C will be your correct answer. Okay, I hope you guys understood. Thank you very much.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT जेई मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।